Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. And I want to say Shalom, Yakmanakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's another impromptu lesson, all right, or free-flowing it, as I like to call it. I got, just some ideas of some topics that or scriptures that I want to hit. I don't have anything laid out in stone. I just have it in, like my notes that I'll just grab, and just how the Holy Spirit guides it. All right. Now the title for this lesson, all right, it's still in the works, but I have a couple ideas. All right. It could take inspiration from Ice Cube's No Vaseline, all right, and be titled "Here's What They Think About You." All right, if you remember that intro, "Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you." Right? It could just be titled "Here's What They Think About You." All right, because that came to the mind, or something along the line of "Black woman, this is what they think about you," or something along those lines. All right, this or not. Here's what they think about you, but this is why you black women. Another title could be "This is why you black women have a bad name." All right, or "This is what gives you black women a bad name." All right. So of course that's what we're talking about today, and of course there are a good decent number of decent black women out there. All right, as well. And when I say black, I'm referring to Southern Kingdom. All right, Levi, Judah, and Benjamin. Okay, that is on its respective tribes chart, all right, that I will pull up for you right now in case you're unfamiliar. Not what I wanted right here. And right here, the 12 tribes of Israel, all right, and in case you're unfamiliar, this is a list of the tribes who the Lord is dealing with. Okay, that's it. He's only dealing with these 12 tribes. If you're not of one of these tribes, then you are not being dealt with. Okay. That doesn't mean you can, you can look like a so-called white or Asian person or Arabic person, but you go back to one of these tribes, regardless of what you look like on the right. You go back to one of these tribes. If you get a full understanding of this truth, all right, you understand that the names are not God and Jesus Christ, but they're Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. All right, if you can understand that the Bible in any capacity in its truth, all right, as far as the Lord's not dealing with all nations. All right, the Lord's only dealing with Israel, and various other topics. All right, if you can understand those things, and you understand that the Lord is not a so-called white man, but is a so-called black man, all right, his son as well. All right, then those are some good defining characteristics that you are more than likely an Israelite. Okay, even if you don't look so-called black or brown, right? So, because you can there can be we know, all right, and there's lessons about this if you want a further understanding about this. And honestly, if this is your first time hearing about this truth, the Hebrew Israelites, I would recommend going and watching another lesson. All right, somebody get started off with learning the names. All right, learning how to repent. And this is definitely not something that should be your first forte into it. All right, because you're gonna need information to know what we're talking about here. But those are good characteristics that you're more likely an Israelite. And if you're an Israelite, that means you're one of the tribes that the Lord is dealing with. Now, you have to be a part of the elect. But again, that's a deep topic, all right, for another lesson. But, I'm prefacing this by saying, we don't hate black women. We don't hate our women. We hate how they act, okay? We hate how they behave. Okay, and I say we as a body of Israelite men, all right, with all the tribes. Now, the big behavioral issues come out of the Southern Kingdom, Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, but Northern Kingdom has them as well. All right, with Latinas being notoriously known for being a little psycho. All right, but the big issue is how the world is perceiving you so-called black women. And the world is perceiving that not because of, this or that, but it's because of how you act, right? Now, yes, does it have roots in, being destroyed and set in a low place by the so-called white man? Yes. But it doesn't mean it's something you should continue on in. All right, this is a culture that's been set, and black men are a culprit of it as well, getting ingrained with the black culture. Right, the black culture for women is being ratchet, and the black culture for men is being hustlers and sports players and on the grind, the bag, right? And that's what, all of our people have been told, right? Now, especially with, that being force fed to the northern kingdom, notably Judah, being the head tribe, Judah, all of the nations are going to want to be a little bit like them, all right? The tribes, all right, as well. And then, these people of the world. That's why you see these white guys, they call them Wiggas, all right, or Wiggers, depending if they want to use that hard R, right? And that just stands for white, all right? And then you have, these Beckys, all right, that are out here, people that are like, what's her name? Damn it, what's her name? Catch Me Outside, how about it? What's her name? Bad Baby, all right? This small hat here, all right? Now, she is a, what do you call it? 1948er, all right? She is ish, all right, with Jew in front of it, all right? Ish. So, and, she's not bad looking, all right? You can see her. I mean, in the face, she's kind of a hit or miss. She's kind of, I guess you would call an acquired taste. I don't think she's the most attractive, but she's certainly not ugly, all right, entirely, at least, in my opinion. So she's I'd call her a stamp. She's pretty basic, all right? She's nothing here nor there, all right? But she's not an Israelite, okay? And you can tell by the way she acts. Now, remember, well, just because she's white? No, not because she's white. Now, she it's the actions. Now, she behaves in some ways like a so-called black woman, but you have a couple different things that could happen. You have the white people that are in that like type of, they're mixed into that black culture because they grew up that way, right? You have the white, I won't say white people, I'll just say the heathens that are ingrained in that culture because they grew up that way. Then you have the ones that have an infatuation with Jake, all right, and we call them parakeets or mockingbirds, all right, or parrots, and they master the bang and the slang and the mental, right, of ninjas in Compton, Compton, what was it, and South Central, Long Beach and South Central. I can't remember the lyric. Anyway, it's Dove Hour, Slock it, but it's old. I think it was Easy E, but yeah, they mastered the bang and the slang and the mental, all right, of being around these black folk. So you'll have them walking around like, oh, how it is, what it is, mine. But they're not like that. They just see that as blackness. They don't see culture. They see slang, all right, and they, you have them using even all white people these days are using it now. Hell, it just happened in the work group chat. It made me cringe, saying, oh, it do be like that. Shut the fuck up, man. All right, stop stealing our shit. All right, it do be like that. Slay queen, you got that from black women. You got slay and queen from black women. All right, you got what it is from black people in general. All right, and these are the people they're so infatuated with Jake that they start to rap, but it's not as good. You can listen to Bad Baby, it's terrible. Something's just not quite right, and then 3. And that's the one you'd want to be, and you act and behave like an Israelite because, well, you are an Israelite. You just are a speckled bird, all right? And that's, again, a topic for another day. It goes through, your seed line goes through your father. So, you could have white mothers through your generations for the past 10 generations, but your father, your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a dark-skinned black man, all right, that goes back to the tribe of Judah, Levi, or Benjamin, or any of the other tribes, all right, and you would be an Israelite, and you wouldn't look like one, all right. For example, look at Patrick Mahomes, man, Patrick Mahomes, all right, look at him. Now, you can't tell, even right off the bat, that this guy is a so-called black man, all right. Now, you can tell the hair is kind of a giveaway, but you can say, okay, he's mixed with something. Okay, he's some sort of mix. He's definitely not white. You can look at him and say, okay, he's definitely not white. But what exactly is he? See, he looks a little bit more like so-called black here, all right, with the mix, but not in that photo. But you can see it here. All right, but if you look at his dad, bam, look at that. You can see it in the eyes, man, and you can see it. You can see it. You can see it in the lips. You can see it in the face right here and here. You can see it in the eyes. All right, that's his daddy right there, man. All right, and you see it. It's but you know, you wouldn't if you didn't know these, if they weren't side by side, you wouldn't necessarily say that. Oh yeah, that's his father for sure, right? And you have a lot of black people out there that aren't even claiming Pat Mahomes. No, he ain't really black. All right, because you got to look like Denzel Washington to be black, apparently, right? But they'd say his dad's black, but he's not black. Well, how does that work? All right, and that's his mom right there. So there's a little Patrick Mahomes right there. So you can see, man, it's through your father's line. It doesn't matter how you happen to look. Okay. So yeah, Patrick Mahomes is an Israelite, all right, more than likely, all right, especially with how good he is at playing ball, man. Like he's got his daddy's arm for show. He can throw that thing like a motherfucker, right? But I want to get that all out there, all right, right off the bat to show you it's really a lineage thing. It's not a skin color thing, okay? So anyway, continuing on, had to get that out there, mini lesson within a lesson. But, you know, you so-called black women out there, you know, these Judah, Levi, and Benjamin women, it's, you know, there is, yes, the white man has done things, and he created black culture, but you can separate from that, all right? The Hebrew Israelite ministry is proof of that, all right? None of us are still, you know, acting and behaving like that, okay? You might hear as joke and say little hood referencing things sometimes. You'll hear me say Maine sometimes, but that's a joke, right? It's not something that I truly embody. It's something I'll say around some people. I'll be like, what's good, man? Right? Or I'll say what's good and stuff like that. Of course, I'll use the slang and stuff, but I'm not out, you know, doing hustles and shit and trying to chase a bag and all that shit. Oh yeah, I'm chasing bag, trying to get, no, it's ridiculous. Okay? And it's the same thing with like when you women, all right, when you men come in this truth, you have to change, all right? You have to put off that old man and put on the new. When you women come in this truth, you have to put off that old woman, right? You can't still be Sharquisha, all right, from down the block, all right? You can't be Felicia, all right, coming up in here and being ratchet, okay? So for the same thing with a man that used to be a Day Day or a Ray Ray, all right, or whatever, all right, whatever his little street name was, he's gotta, when he comes to this truth, he can't be sticking up for the Day Days and the Ray Rays of the world. Just like you so-called black women, when you come in this truth, you can't be sticking up for the Sharquishas and Felicias of the world, man. All right, they're not you. All right, they look like you. Well, they really shouldn't even look like you. You shouldn't have that red weave in, or you know, the all these different weird shit that these people be doing. Those really low-cut tops. You shouldn't even look the same, right? But I wanted to get that out there because a lot of the time you'll see it, and I'm seeing less and less of it, which is good. But a lot of the time you'll see, you know, women are very emotional creatures, all right? They'll come into this truth, and they will be, you know, doing, you know, at least to what we can see, you know, things that are right, all right? Following the Lord, all right? Being indebted to their husband, of course. But when the idea and the concept of the woman being brought up, you know, the black woman or the Latino woman, all right? So-called Negro, Latino, and Native American woman gets brought up, they get a little touchy. They don't like it. They feel like they're being singled out. You're not being singled out, sisters. The ones that are true, sincere sisters, you're not being singled out. Just like you brothers, when we talk about an ain't shit ass drug dealing gangbanger, you're not being singled out unless you're an ain't shit ass banging drug dealer. Okay, so what did the apostle say the other day? I can't remember if it was Apostle Gabar. He said if you got offended, was it Apostle Gabar or was it Elder Menatazatba? I watch them a lot, so a lot of time I get what they said confused sometimes. But one of them said if that offended you, it was meant for you, right? So it offends you, it's meant for you. Right? That's true. There's obviously a reason you're getting cut by it. But, so yeah, we're going to start this video up, right? So if the shoe fits, wear it, all right? If you're not like these people, why would you get offended, all right? Just because it's talking about the so-called black woman. Really, you so-called black women that are behaving rightly, all right, you should be pissed the fuck off, okay? Because this is the reason that people view you. You know, with you're judged as soon as you step in the room. All right, before you even open up your mouth, you could be very delicate and quaint and professional with your speech and say hello, but they expect that, you know, they don't expect that. They expect, hi, what it is, how y'all motherfuckers do. That's what they expect, all right, to come out your mouth. All right, what it is, how it is. That's what they expect. They don't expect, oh, hello, how are you doing? They don't expect that. So as soon as you step in the room, you're getting judged by these people. You're getting stares, all right? You're getting people talking about you, right? So you should be pissed. You shouldn't be sticking up for these women. These women are tarnishing your reputation, all right? Just by being the same color as them, all right? That's it. You don't act like them or walk like them or talk like them, or at least you shouldn't, right? But when you're out in public, people are gonna, oh, shit, here we go. You go to, you know, you had a problem, you had a return, you have a return now, and now everyone's trying to, you know, pass off who gets the return because they think that you're gonna blow up and be, you know, a negress to them, all right? And act like a water buffalo, all right? But you're not. Oh, hello. And they're, oh, thank God. Oh, God, I thought you were gonna be terrible, right? But, you know, you should be pissed at women like this, all right? And what women? The ones we're about to show you right now. So here you go. Feast your eyes on this spectacle, all right? And then let's see what people think about these type of women. Here you go.
And y'all had a...
God damn it. Here you go. Oh, there it is. The beast with the red hair, all right? Coming stumbling all over with the Chinese red hair, all right? That Xiao Hong Hing hair, all right? You got it for $5, all right, on AliExpress. Here we go.
And y'all had a good conversation.
Let's stop it real quick. Let's stop it. Let's get you a scene of that. Can you see this whale, this land whale, this atrocity? All right. God damn, man. If that was a human being, they'd be screaming for their life in between them cheeks, man. Disgusting. Why are you dressing like that, man? You need to stop taking a break and go and run on a goddamn treadmill, man. That's what you need to do. Find a gym and go to it.
Is in the way. Hey.
Hurry up, smoking. Look at all this shit hanging out. Disgusting. Look, there's the tongue. There's the tongue. They always have that tongue out. All right, and that spirit of what is that goddess that had her tongue out, man? What is it? Kali. All right, that Kali spirit Kali. All right. So there you go. There you go. That's Shiva's spirit, really. So here you go. Again, let's watch their intro, and we'll play it all the way through. And you can see already, that might just be a man, or I don't know. White women just look like that, to be honest. But anyway, let's watch the intro. And they're like, oh, you know, they with us. No, you can tell that they despise them right off the bat. This is a smile. Women do this smile. All right, it's an insincere smile. All right, it's just all right, here you go. So anyway.
Hey, Sean.
Black bitches in the way. Hey. We're ready. What's the questions?
What's your name?
I'm Key.
And you?
I'm Brady.
Why do you think it's appropriate to just run up in our interview mid-conversation?
I don't give a fuck.
I ain't gonna lie, they white and I don't give a fuck. A whole pay me.
I never gave a fuck.
Are you just looking for attention?
No, never. I never gave a fuck.
We want to be fun.
That one said you can stay, but this one ain't feeling it. This one, I don't know. I don't know what her deal is. Maybe she just wants to be accepted by black people or whatever. I don't even know what she is. I can't tell. She still looks like white to me. Looks a little like Ariana Grande-ish. Probably Spanish of some variety. That's not a Jake. She could be a Jake. Who knows?
For the video.
But if I'm in the middle of a conversation with two people...
I'm sorry, y'all. He feel disrespected. I'm
Did you have a problem with it? I'm good. What? So what's the problem now? What's the problem now?
I mean...
We are girls. We are girls, aren't we? Anywho, what's next?
I don't like his...
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next?
I like her.
How much did you...
Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about interrupting the conversation.
Next?
These hoes love us.
What's next? Because they obviously do love us. So what's next?
What's he?
What do you think the men watching this are gonna think about you two?
Nigga, eat my dick.
Hey, everybody loves a hoe. I had never seen a hoe get turned down or a hoe not wife, so...
He said, everybody loves a hoe. I've never seen a hoe turned down or a hoe not wifed. Yeah, there's plenty of them. All right. There's actually videos of them. All right. And you're the type of woman that's going to be, 40 years old, 50. Well, you probably won't even make it. But if you were, that's going to be just sad, alone, and just wishing you had a man. And you've never seen, I wouldn't hit it. All right. Not you. I would not. Not for free. I would not. Nope. Absolutely not. You could be here right now. So you want something? Fuck no. Get away from me. God damn. I'd rather stay. Let me not. Yeah, Slakia. Anyway. But yeah, man, I wouldn't, not even for free. Not even for free. I've never seen a hoe turn down. Let's go see if we can find that video. Black woman crying about man meeting a man. There's that video. Let's see. Here it is. This one.
I don't get hugs consistently. I don't hear my name being said. And there's no fault. It's just circumstance. But now I'm in a position where I feel like I sometimes can't picture a love that meets all of your needs. Or most of them. I don't know. I just wish I could make myself not want it anymore, Because while I know it's natural to want it, it's painful and I'm tired.
If you don't want to be post 30 bawling on social media about how lonely you are and just how much dating sucks, it's best if you date intentionally before you hit the wall.
Oh my God!
That's the one with sense, look, uncommon conversations for a black community. Let's see what the men are saying. It says a lot of men would prefer silence than a woman that is constantly nagging. This guy says, guard your heart and your wallet at all costs, fellas. My recommendations for her: get off of social media, start exercising every day, smile and be nice to every man you see, let go of these stupid expectations that women have for men. The next man you meet, cooperate with him. Try this for 60 days and see how you can build a relationship with someone. See if you can build a relationship with someone. Bam! That's a one with a little bit of scent. Oh, and what is that in her photo? Is that? Oh, I thought that was well, I see a man in her photo, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's got someone. All right. So, there you go. And, there's a lot, and you can have a lot of these black women stay away from Hebrew Israelite cults. This is what you're doing, and you women, I'm so alone. That wasn't the video I was looking for originally. There was a video. I can't remember. We'll play a little bit of this. Let's see.
Process and just left feeling so single.
I can't see his face. That's a no for me.
Fertility starts to decline. I get that. And I've had so many people tell me, you should freeze your eggs.
You have to inject yourself. I don't even know if I could inject myself.
Cost $9,500 for the actual retrieval procedure.
I'm 32, I'll be 33. And I'm looking into the process as well.
So, you should freeze your eggs. Look into it. And I decided,
because ain't nobody wants you, man. And this is why. Okay, I ain't never seen nobody turn down a hoe. I've seen it happen plenty of times. All right, I'm sure you've been turned down plenty of times, right? So, and she also doesn't understand that all she is a slam pig. All right, for those guys that are gonna get with her, you can look up what a slam pig is. All right, I said probably gonna bring up something not so good. All right, let's go and ask Urban Dictionary. Slam pig. There's a word. Right here. Slam pig. Right? It says a promiscuous woman, typically overweight or ugly, and only sought for pumping and dumping. All right, and it's not talking about pumping and dumping stocks. It's talking about right here, Situation where a person has sex with a partner on a single occasion without the immediate intention of further contact. All right. In other words, fucking Chuck, hit and quit, smash and dash, one night stand. All right. That's it. Boom, bam, out of here. Right. And that's all you're gonna be. You're just a slam pig. Right. You're ugly. You're overweight. Some guy's drunk, says, fuck it, whatever. Right. And then that's it. That's all you'll ever be, man. Nobody wants you. You're fat and ugly. You're not even redeemable. Like let me see. Isn't Lizzo? Lizzo looks different now. Yeah. See, Lizzo. She's not the prettiest, but I mean, you can see her face right there. Let me not, because that's gonna pull up my Instagram. But you can see her face right. One of those, she was pretty. All right. So if you're fat, man, at least have something under it that you can fucking reveal. But no, you're just ugly. You're fat and ugly. No redeemable qualities. So let's see what the people think. Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think about you. Right? So let's go and say trash, ghetto ass ratchets. The culture's destructive. Ignorant bitches is what came to my mind. R/trashy. What else do we have? Stragnesia and Ereka into house yo. What else do we have? It says they can do that because the other girls are white. Another shining example of reverse race. Oh, shut the fuck up, Edomite. Racist piece of shit. Edomite. Says, is the orange thing carrying a small frying pan? I did see that. I did see that.
What's the problem now?
Where's
What's
it
the
at?
problem? What can be funny?
I don't give a fuck.
Are you just sick? What's next?
Love us. See.
What do you think?
I saw it earlier.
Is in the way? Your name. What do you think appropriate in our interview? They want to give a fuck.
Never.
I'm in the conversation with two people.
I'm sorry, y'all. He feel
So
Right there.
what's the problem now?
Looks like a small frying pan. That bitch probably is carrying a frying pan. Hoping she walks by something that's just hot enough to fry a fucking egg, man. At any given time. What else do we got? It says, I think it's a battery-powered fan. It says a big girl like that bound to sweat a bit. What else? How are you out of breath just standing there? It says, it's time to question your life choices when you find yourself bringing a portable waffle maker on your racist crusade through town. They're more worried about the race shit. White girl's got some serious height, especially next to her Thumbelina mate. I think that's a man. I honestly think that's a man. Someone needs to mention it, right? Racist trash. I want to date a tall white girl. See, simple. Life is not going to work out for the big girl with red hair. It says life is mainly going to be short for her. She's out of breath just from talking. I predict she'll have serious heart attack or an aneurysm in the next year or two. Could be, man. I doubt those hoes actually love them. What else do we have? What else? It says, let's see. When you think you couldn't find a fatter, uglier person, this walking heart attack waddles over with a fan. What else? Why is Big Bertha carrying a fucking frying pan? Looks like the Kool-Aid man had an illegitimate child. What else? Gross. Now, what else do we got? Not gonna lie, I kind of want to push the thing with red hair. Not hard, just kind of nudge and see if she would be able to stand up. How she would stand up. Just me? What else do we got? What a miserable existence. Imagine going through life being like that. Will never amount to anything honorable. What else do we got? Least desirable species on the planet. Least desirable species on the planet. And that's probably a white person. Looks like, well, white woman. All right, what else? Vile women or woman. He should have told them to jog on. What else do we have? Let's see. Hold my child support. Rasputia. We're in the end times, huh? There you go. Should have asked her about her weight. Interview over. Laugh my ass off. She's out of breath just walking up to him. Big girl out of breath from walking on a level street. All right, call the zoo. We found the missing well. All right, I want to eat my dick. Everyone loves a hoe. Sounds like someone grew up fucking their cousin. Damn. What else do we have? This is why I don't want anyone from this generation. So-called black man, more than likely. What else? Sort by controversial. Yep, about what I expected. Disgusting culture. Let's see. Sort by controversial. Let's see. You ready? They're going to be talking about black women. You ready? Yep. Typical. It's in their blood to be rude at all times. Okay. What else? Wow. Black privilege. Let's see. They can do that because other girls are white. Well, we already got that one. There's the color of which makes no difference at all. True. There's black folks, and then there's this. There's a clear difference. I'm not judging by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. The pendulum has swung too far in black tolerance and acceptance. What else? It says, how have we... No. Disgusting culture. Least desirable species on the planet. You know, people are being racist, but they don't, you know, they're getting rid of them a lot. This one just says, Americans. A black woman is speaking. Listen and learn. What else do we have? Trash. And this is why they are the leading demographic most likely to become single mothers. There you go. And that's the last one we'll read from that. So yeah, you know, that's and just loud and just clamorous. All right, which we'll get. All right, a clamorous woman. All right, what is clamorous? All right, what does clamorous mean? It's loud.
Clamorous.
All right, clamorous.
Clamorous.
Making a loud and confused noise. Noisy, loud, vocal. Okay? Rowdy. Hey, motherfuckers, what it is, motherfucker? Right? Proverbs 9 and 13. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. There you go. Again, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Let's go ahead and get that in the Good News Translation. See what it has to say. It says... Stupidity is like a loud, ignorant, shameless woman. No, it's no. A shameless woman is loud and stupid and ignorant is what it should say. It's not dealing with stupidity. It's dealing with a foolish woman. Okay? That's why, you know, the Good News Translation sometimes butchers scriptures all the way up. Not completely change the meaning. Don't do that. It's clearly talking about a foolish woman. Not foolishness is like a woman. No. A woman. All right? Foolish woman is clamorous. Okay? She is simple and knoweth nothing. Another one is Proverbs 7:11. All right, a warning says she is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. Loud and stubborn. All right, two traits of the so-called black woman: loud and stubborn. Oh, I don't want to hear that shit. Well, the real reason, I don't care what you think. I don't care if that's the fact. I ain't worried about fact. I'm worried about me, bitch. You know, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah, well, whatever, yeah, whatever you then. All right, and then they go off and they try to make a mockery of you, and then they die old and single because nobody wanted them. Because they were rude, they were mean, they constantly kept back-talking, all right, couldn't hold a conversation with them, they were weird, all right, they stunk, all right, they were hoes, all right, they were loud, all right, here it is, you're trying to have a dinner, shit, that's just some funny shit, and you're in there, here it is, you're in a nice establishment, and you're like, goddamn, can you keep it down? You keep it down. You're being in a fucking embarrassment right now, man. Everybody's looking over here because you're loud ass. All right? You know? And you can go into a store like the apostles say. You can go into a store and find out just exactly where the black women are because you'll fucking hear them before you see them. All right? Oh, shit, bitch. Is that true? And no other nation of woman does that unless they're trying to be like the so-called black woman. All right? Unless they're trying to be the so-called black woman. All right? And they're hanging around the so-called black woman. No one does that. I get it, Jake. We're naturally a little bit louder, but not like that. Goddamn. You're loud. You're screaming. Okay? And you have stupid ideologies. All right? You're over here thinking, oh, no one's ever turned down a hoe. Plenty of hoes have been turned down. All right? Plenty of them. Okay? And you're not attractive. Right? Any other woman in the frame is more attractive than you. Right? Hell, that lady right there, she could be, like someone said, she could be Dutch or from another country or something like that. But even if that's a man's more feminine than you. Right? Disgusting. You looking like Lil Durk over here. Right? Motherfucker, this bitch looking like Lil Durk. Look at her. Look at her looking like Lil Durk. Alright? In a way. Right? Looking like Lil Durk. Bitch look like a little Dirk. God damn. You know? Some weird fucking mix of Lil Durk and Sexy Red. Had some weird fucked up ass baby. And you were the product of it. Disgusting, man. Disgusting. So let's go and get some more scriptures. What do we want to get? Let's go ahead and get, how long have we been going anyway? I've been ragging on her for a while. 35 minutes. Let's go ahead and get, let's get, you know, let's get Proverbs 21 and 9. Oop. Talk about, you know, because this is a brawling woman, Okay, she's over here trying to, you know.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I never gave a fuck.
Interview. You?
We're ready.
Right here.
Hey.
We're ready.
What's the questions? What's your name? I'm Key. Hey, is in the way. Language is in the way. Hey.
We're ready.
What's the questions? What's your name? I'm Key. And you?
I'm ready.
Why do you think it's appropriate to just run up in our interview mid-conversation?
I don't give a fuck.
I ain't gonna lie, they white and I don't give a fuck. A whole pay
I never gave a fuck.
Are you just looking for attention?
No, never. I never gave a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. That's a brawling woman. All right. Brawling can mean fighting as well, but you're damn near on the edge of it. But a brawling woman, all right, fighting mostly, but you're over there, you know, a woman that likes to start confrontations, right? So Proverbs 21 and 9, it is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Okay, there you go. Let's get Proverbs 21 and 19. It says, it is better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and an angry woman. Okay. Another one is Ecclesiasticus 25 and 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. You don't want to be around this woman. You don't want to be keep a house with her, or be, you know, in the same household. You don't want to go. There's another one. I'd rather the dragon. Oh no, that we already got that lion and dragon. For some reason, I forgot the dragon part. All right, just blocked it out of my mind. But yeah, Saki, Ecclesiasticus 25 and 16. I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. And look, man, it's just, what do we want to get out? It's just nobody wants to be around these so-called black women like this because of the way they act. Let's go ahead and get let's see what we got for women here. Let's get let's get there's a couple we can get here, but really let's see what we got. Let's get, we already got those. Yeah, you know what? Let's get Isaiah 3 and 16. We're gonna get over here so you know that I didn't tamper with it or do anything like that. But this is dealing with the daughters of Zion, all right, the Israelite women, all right, of Judah specifically, right? Isaiah 3 and 16. You know, the Israelite woman, the so-called black woman, being the Judah being the head, right? Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Haughty means, you know, proud, mean, rude, all right, arrogant.
Haughty.
Arrogantly superior, disdainful. They provoke disdain, right? Lack of respect. They have a lack of respect, and they garnish it as well. They get that back because that's what they're giving. Are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. All right, and you know, you can go with let me go paint here. These bitches be walking around. You know, this is how I always picture it. You know, here it is. They're walking like this. I'm gonna draw a stick figure. All right. All right. These bitches are damn near walking around like this, with these big ass eyelashes. all right, big ass eyelashes, all right, with their shit all the way out, all right, and walking around with some crazy ass makeup, all right, and some big ass plump ass lips. That's the depiction of how you women are pictured, man. All right, when you're with your eyes, just that's what you look like to me. That's what you look like to me. All right. Oh, can't forget the big ass BBL. All right, that's what you look like. All right, and can't forget, add about 70, 80, 90 extra pounds onto that, right? So it says, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, and you really do be walking around with your neck like that, by the way. All right, you really do be having your neck all stretched out like a goddamn giraffe. I don't know why, but just a thing y'all do. I don't know what it is. All right, you only really see it with the black woman. All right, they got their neck all stretched out. All right, when being proud. All right, when they're being proud and they walking like, that dot walk. All right, when they think, oh yeah, I'm the shit, they walk around with their neck out. Let's see if they did it. All right, first of all, you see that bitch kind of got her neck going, but she might be compensating for, how tall that bitch is.
And you? Why do you think it's appropriate?
Let's see if I can see it.
The men watching this,
they're turned around too much, but
y'all had a good conversation.
They're turned around too much, but they really have their neck out a lot. So it says, because the daughter, we'll start from the top again. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. What is wanton? All right, wanton. All right, I call those hoe eyes.
Wanton.
All right. Dated. This is the old dated. That's the old version. Sexually unrestrained, having many casual sexual relationships. All right, immoral, promiscuous. They have promiscuous eyes. Hoe eyes. All right, if you look up hoe eyes, all right. Let's see. You can just tell. You can't really see it, but that's a hoe eye right there. You can see it. They have those hoe eyes. They just look like hoes. All right? Let's get that out of there. But these look like hoes, wanton eyes, those sexually promiscuous eyes, and that big eyelashes, right? It says, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. That's how they are. So the Lord, gave some curses unto him. It says, Isaiah 3:17, therefore the Lord will smite you with a scab, the crown of the head. Will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. That's your hair. That's why your hair don't grow. Hair's falling out. You got to wear them wigs, right? And the Lord will discover their secret parts, right? You know what that means. It says, in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cauls, and their round tires like the moon, the chains, and the bracelets, and the mufflers, the bonnets, and the ornaments of the legs, the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the glasses. These are all, forms of raiment, basically. The glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be a stink. You know what that's talking about as well. And there shall, instead of a girdle, a rent. All right, overweight. And instead of a well-set hair, baldness. Instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. There you go. And it says, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Another one. There's another scripture. I'll get that one to close out with probably, but let's get another one. Let's get there was another scripture I wanted to get. Let's see, we got those already. That's a sign. I was gonna get Isaiah 41, and I said let's not, but that's a sign. Let's go ahead and get it, because the next one right there, Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day, we're coming into Jacob's trouble. All right, soon. All right, when shit's about to get heavy. Okay, and it's not gonna be no fun. Not gonna be walking the street. There's gonna be martial law. All right, there's gonna be mandatory implementations of chips. All right, before RFID chips. all right, in your hands. Well, before it becomes mandatory, it's going to be optional, but it's going to be mandatory. There's going to be military, martial law, right? Tanks, okay? And you're going to be, and then, you know, you're going to be just be wishing, all right, you had someone to help, all right, but you had no man, okay? You had no man, all right? You don't want no man. You didn't need no man, right? Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right, and that's another thing is, you know, women, they can be saved, all right, if as of elect on their own, but a lot of the time women are saved through their man, all right, being of the elect, okay? So these women are going to be, you know, especially these Jake women, all right, are going to be trying to find a man, and they're not going to be able to find one at all. And that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. So yeah. And then I'm pretty much ready to close out. But I got one more. I want to get one more maybe before I go ahead and close out with Isaiah 32 and 9. Let's see. Let me grab a drink here. Yeah. Let's get 1 Timothy. I'm just going to read it from here. 1 Timothy 5 and 14 and 15. 14 says, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary, speak reproachfully, for some are already turned aside after Satan. So that's why it's better for these women to marry young, because they start, you know, destroying themselves, all right, through, you know, over much liberty. There's Ecclesiasticus 26 and 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. All right, don't be surprised if she ends up getting hoed out. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. All right, getting with everyone. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. That's talking about spreading her legs, all right, to every rod. It says, but yeah, there you go. So that's that. And then finally, what we're going to close out with, we got Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25. It says, going back into shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. All right, and here's one for you women. All right, right, yeah, rubies. This is one for women, to, you know, for a little spirit booster in case, you know, somehow you felt down somehow. You shouldn't, but we know how you know women are emotional. But this is for the good women. It says, Proverbs 31 and 10, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. There you go. And you can continue to read that if you like. So, you know, it's a good thing, all right, to be a good woman. It's a bad thing to be a bad woman. Simple, really. But you women, man, it's about to get ill for you. All right. This is Isaiah 32 and 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. What's going to happen to you, careless women? Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Oh, I wish the old days. I miss the old days. Right? It says, upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Yeah, we can leave off really with there, really, with 12 being the big heavy hitter, all right? They shall lament for the teeth, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. So you're going to just, I wish we could, I miss the old good times, right? When you weren't, completely desolate, right? And, hey, man, you do need a man. I don't need no man. That spirit's got to go, all right? That I don't need a man spirit. You're going to find out how much you need a man when the end comes and you're begging someone to protect you, all right? And mind you, I don't need no man. Hey, guess what? The Lord is a man, all right? So how do you think he feels about that whole concept, all right? So that's the lesson. Again, I don't know necessarily what I'm going to title it. I'll have to go back to the start of the lesson, see some of the things I named off, but and try to put something together. Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai through that. But that's the lesson, man. So you women, hey, if you're being like that, you need to repent. You need to stop being like that. I know it's probably falling on deaf ears, but if there's a smidge in you that wants to change, then do that change. All right, pray that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai changes you. All right, puts that spirit on you to be a better woman. All right, and that you can get a man. All right, and so on and so forth. All right, what you need, pray for it. All right. Remember, you're dealing with a man though. You can't be coming in that feminist ass spirit. So that's the lesson. We're gonna close out there. Lord willing, it was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing, shalom.